Hi, and welcome to the Fabulous Cancer Podcast. Today I'll be talking to Alisa, and we're going to talk about being in quarantine and how to deal with it. So, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself and who you are
Sure.
and where you're from?
Yeah, my name is Alisa Manzelli. I am from Los Angeles, California. And last year I was diagnosed with stage 3C low grade serous ovarian cancer.
Yeah, and we also did a podcast before. So if you guys want to
Mhm.
check that out, that more about our story, then you can listen to that. Um, so we're gonna talk about the quarantine stuff that's going on right now. And during cancer and chemo treatment, I'm sure you also had to stay at home, like to recover and stuff from chemo and treatment.
Mhm.
What did you like deal with during this time?
Yeah, so it's very, very similar, but I would say it's almost worse this time. So it's so similar to treatment in that, we have to be extra, extra cautious about where we go. I mean, I finished treatment, 6 months ago, but you can never be too safe. I mean, I have a friend who finished treatment. Well, not a friend, but I have a friend whose friend finished treatment 4 years ago, and he unfortunately passed away from coronavirus this past week. So, you can never be too safe, especially if you have like a history of respiratory issues. So it's kind of just like being in treatment, but I say even worse because at least when you're in treatment, at least for me, I got white blood cell shots, like every day or every day after treatment, so every 3 weeks in my case. So my white blood cell count was really boosted, and I to really help me get through the chemo and stay healthy. So I think it's like you have to be even more cautious now. Like, we're not in treatment, but we're not getting those white blood cell count shots. Um, so washing hands, staying busy, not going outside, and then on top of that, no one is coming to visit you.
Yeah,
So that's the
yeah,
other difference. At least in
definitely.
treatment, you have visitors.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like when I was sick and I had like super low immune system, um I also had like my own frying pan and stuff, like all everything separately, like from my parents to eat and everything. But now like with this virus going on, it's like it's crazy. Like I wouldn't even know what like how to deal with it almost.
Yeah, because you're even nervous about like ordering food and stuff. Like, you never know who's handling your food.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think as well, like the mental health aspect is like so important for it as well. Like if you're in quarantine, like at home, like if you just had chemo and you have to
Hmm.
go home to recover, um, I think it's important to find as many ways as possible to keep yourself happy and occupied as much as
Totally.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing too, because like we being quarantined, you can't even go outside and go they say you can go for a walk with your dog, but we can't even go on hikes now with all of the parks closed in Los Angeles as of today. So we can't even go for a hike because so many people were taking advantage of that, and you know uh I guess all the parks were flooded this weekend, so they shut them down. So now there's no way of even going on a hike, but at least like to get outside for a walk for 10 minutes, I think is super helpful. The weather hasn't been so great for us, so I've been trying to do indoor workouts using apps and streaming classes online. So that's one way to try and stay active. Um, and you can even do like floor mat exercises while you're watching a show or something. Just lay there and stretch on the mat, or do some sit-ups while you're watching a movie. So then it's like less of a chore too. It's like, when you're just sitting there doing sit-ups, you're like, oh, this is awful. But at least if you're doing a class or you're watching something, it's like a nice little distraction.
Yeah, definitely. And I also feel like you're more in a way interacting with someone rather than like okay, I'm just gonna kind of see what kind of exercises I'm gonna do. I think it's really nice to
Mm-hmm.
actually do it like with a live stream or something like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is not sponsored by Nintendo or anything, but there's like so many new Nintendo games coming out or are out now, like Animal Crossing and Doom, and also on Steam and Origin. There's like so many sales right now going on and games for free that you can purchase. So that really helps a lot too. And now I think about it, actually, what helps a lot as well, I think, is I'm on Reddit for like cancer survivors and stuff, and it's really nice to meet so many people through like even through the internet and to connect with others. So I think if you feel like lonely or something, Reddit is also really cool to communicate and find
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah, yeah. And like I mean for me, even just, connecting with my Instagram community and other cancer survivors and just commiserating with each other and saying, gosh, we just finished treatment last year and now we're being quarantined all over again. Like, right, I just got like all of my energy back. Like I would say this past month, I finally feel like my old self 6 months after treatment. And as soon as I have all my energy back, now I'm being stuck doing the same thing we were doing for 6 months or so, for some people even longer last year. So I think it's nice to just be able to reach out to people in the same situation.
Yeah.
Because like I was just complaining to friends and they're like, yeah, I know this sucks. And I'm like, no, 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 you don't get it. It's kind of it's worse for some people because we've done enough of this sitting around in our lifetime, in one lifetime. I mean, even no matter how recently you just finished treatment, we're kind of like, it's kind of like we're done with this, we're over this, but at the same time, we are experts at it and we know how to kind of keep ourselves happy and busy. So you just kind of got to channel back into where was I in treatment mode. And so like for me personally, the one thing I regretted not doing more of in treatment was coloring in my coloring books. I bought a bunch and I didn't really use them that much. I thought I was going to. I did maybe 2 pages and I kind of got over it. And then I started getting into puzzles. So this time around, I'm like, okay, I did enough puzzles while I was in treatment. Now I'm going to try and do more of that coloring that I regret not doing more of. So it's like I'm using this as an opportunity to do all the things I didn't necessarily do then. And especially now that I have my energy back.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good you say that because now I'm actually thinking about that. I'm like, now you can also try like so many different things that you weren't able to do like during chemo, like exercises maybe even. Like for me,
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah,
do that, but now
totally.
I'm like, yeah, maybe I can do like exercise at home. And also what is really nice is self-improvement's book, like learning
Hmm.
more about like yourself, or I mean that's what I'm working on, like a day
Yes.
schedule and everything, like mental health stuff and stuff. So it's really
Hmm.
kind of like an opportunity to like reflect on yourself and be like, okay, well, where am I at life, and in my, how am I feeling, and how do I feel about
Hmm.
myself, and how can I improve that?
Yeah.
It's good.
Everybody's kind of getting that opportunity to like check back in with themselves and really reflect on what's important and what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, if we're not allowed to leave the house, like this is what you're stuck with in life. So you got to make the most out of it and try and do whatever you can. Like you said, I think self-help books are awesome. I definitely read them pretty frequently. I like to read them in the bathtub usually, like
Yeah,
get very relaxed and light a candle and put on bubbles and music, and I'll just sit there with the book in the bathtub, and I love doing that. Even
yeah,
if it's just like a 20-minute bath, it's like the one thing, like, okay, at least I took a nice little bath today and did something for myself.
exactly. And it's really cool because I also wanted to ask you, like, what kind of impact did it have for your mental health when you stayed home?
Well, I think I handled it pretty well through treatment.
Mm.
But like I said, this time has been a lot harder because I have my energy back. So, like, at the beginning, I was really depressed, and like, it's been raining a lot here the past few weeks, like, way more than us Southern Californians are like used to. We do not get a lot of rain. So, the past like ever since I've been working from home, it's been raining like on and off, or if it doesn't rain, it says it's going to rain and then it never does. So like it keeps lying to us. So I think that that was really hard at the beginning, was adjusting to, a seasonal depression, so to speak. This is like people in other states probably deal with all the time, but being in Southern California, we're just so used to like 60 degrees and sunny every day, 60 to 70 degrees. And so I think that was hard at the beginning. And then once I kind of adjusted to, okay, this may be an ongoing quarantine. This isn't just a week or two. This is going to be the next couple months. Like mentally preparing for that was, I think, a big shift for me.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I had the same as well. Like, for me, there's actually not much difference because I just work from home, so it's quite easier. But I'm also like, yeah, actually now everyone is in my situation in a way, and like in like
Right.
the chemo cancer situation. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting to see how everyone's responding to that, and to be like, okay, well, this is going to be my life for a while, so I need to adjust, and I need to also improve indeed, like my mental health on that, if I'm going to stay at home. And if I'm not, if you're not used to it, it's really, I think, like you said, like difficult, and you really have to adjust to it.
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think I said to you before, it's like everyone is getting a taste of what it's like to go through cancer treatment now,
yeah,
or any sort of like health issue where your immunity is compromised. Everybody's kind of getting a taste of what that's like, but um, unfortunately, so many people aren't taking it seriously, and that's why people like cities are getting stricter with their rules, because at first it was a suggestion, stay home, and then nobody, oh, suggestion, oh, come on. And then now it's like, okay, you got to actually stay home, but then people are still going out. And I think I posted something on my Facebook to kind of make a point, and I think I posted it on my Instagram too, but it was an image from an account, Amanda Lynn Smith. I think you may even follow her on Instagram, but her daughter was a is a cancer survivor. She's 7 years old, and she had stage 3 lymphoma.
hmm
And there's an image, and I posted it because it says she's had 5 months of high dose chemo, 3 PET scans, 3 CT scans, 1 MRI, 6 blood transfusions, 3 platelet transfusions, and 5 months of daily injections. 7 years old, stage 3 lymphoma, and she kicked butt. I'm not about to lose her to a virus that doesn't affect the 96%. Stay home and flatten the curve. And I've been sharing that because I mean, I don't want to write like, oh, stay home for me, stay home for me. I'm like, she's in a much more compromised situation than I am. So like, I'm not even thinking of myself as a potential victim. I'm like thinking of like this little girl, or like the elderly, like my grandparents and stuff. Like
yeah.
I just, that's what you got to think of. And unfortunately, a lot of people they're blind to this aspect of life,
Yeah, they
which
don't.
must be nice.
Yeah, but it's also like super ignorant. I mean,
Hmm.
it's people don't really understand, I think, the actual impact that it may have upon others. And I'm like, I went to the supermarket like on Friday, and I felt a little bit sick like in the evening. I'm like, oh my god, but now I'm like
Uh-oh.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
pushed through, and I'm like, okay, I just kept going, and I just felt like, okay, I'm fine. I don't want to be like the reason for someone else's effects of health, like, because I would go to the city or go clubbing or something, not that I would, but for example, that other people would be like, well, it's not that big of a deal, so I'm just gonna go to the city or something. I'm like, no, you need to stay home, and you need to just
Yeah,
adjust, like,
right. And especially since it takes like up to 2 weeks for symptoms to manifest. I
yeah,
mean, just because you feel fine, like you could be sick in like a couple days. Just wait. So,
yeah,
I mean, I've been super paranoid myself too, though. I like, um, every time I get a hot flash, I want to take my temperature and make sure I don't have a fever.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I was doing that the other day. I was so paranoid because I left my house to run an errand, and it was the day before California basically shut the whole state down. So it was on Thursday I left my house, and it was just to get some necessary things to continue working from home. And the next day I was getting really bad hot flashes. So I took my temperature a few times that day just to be sure. And
Yeah.
luckily everything was okay. They were just hot flashes, but I've been very, very paranoid.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like as well. Like I saw on Reddit a post with someone who's like, "Well, I'm a cancer survivor from childhood cancer, but how's the coronavirus gonna affect me?" And I'm like, and the person was an adult now or young adult, and I'm like, actually, I don't even think about that. Like I'm
Yeah.
clean for 15 years, so I don't know. Like I
I
haven't
think
really.
you would probably be okay.
Yeah,
I mean, like I had that friend who finished treatment 4 years ago, so I can't tell if like that's what made him susceptible to actually dying from coronavirus, or if it was because of his history of asthma and bronchitis. I mean, I'm sure it was all of these things combined, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I caught E. coli in December, so
mm,
that was 3 months ago. So I that was kind of scary for me. Like, oh my gosh, I finished treatment 3 months ago and I catch E. coli out of nowhere.
yeah,
And so that's maybe why I'm a little more on alert too, because I
yeah.
mean, it's only been 3 months since then. But I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody would probably be you would probably know better if I guess you asked your doctor. I mean, I have not considered reaching out to my doctor because I figure that they all have more important things to deal with right now. But it could be worth asking them, like, what do you think my risks are, and how on the safe scale of 1 to 10, how safe do you think I should be?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I need to buy a bubble suit to live in, or can I go on a walk once in a while? Or
Yeah, definitely. But I also feel like if there was really a high risk, my doctor would have called me. Like she's really considerate. So I feel like,
oh,
but
good, good.
that's for me personally. I don't know how it is for other people, of course. So
Yeah, no, I'm
mm,
sure. Like, some people have so many patients, it's not even, uh, on the top of their priority list. But you're right, though. I think if they really were concerned, they probably would send out at least something to like a, a group of their patients who were at higher risk or something like that.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm sure there would be some sort of uh, notification.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I guess if you really are that paranoid, though, yeah, you could just reach out to them and see.
Yeah, it's always good to just get the right information and the insurance. But I feel like also like on the internet there's so much like also like some pages of like good information, because I really also feel like if you just stay at home, clean your hands, and like do your thing, it's fine, in a way.
Yeah,
Um,
and also just because you're staying home doesn't mean you get away with not washing your hands too.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, whatever, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do anything. But it's like, what are you picking up, and what is being brought into your house too? Like, even just like your groceries or something.
Yeah, definitely. I like wash my hands right away from groceries.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's we'll see how things continue to develop in the next few weeks, like with how different areas are, I don't know, reacting to this, like, and the precautions that people are taking. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see uh what unfolds, and I mean, how much worse can this get here? Let's I'm like I'm like Kermit with the tea, and sitting with my popcorn. Like, what's next?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm in my bubble, but
Yeah,
I'm still kind of scared, but I'm also entertained.
yeah, definitely. And I feel like, now it's just important to do self-reflection, have fun. You can do so much at home because you have the internet. you have friends who have a smartphone, so you can download Skype in 5 seconds and you can call. You know, there's so much you
Yeah,
can
that's
do.
another thing. Yeah, Skype and Google Hangout. That's like, how lucky are we that this is happening now and not back in the day
Oh my
before, you know? Can you imagine being quarantined and like the before the internet?
God.
What would we all do?
I,
Lose
I
our, we'd have to talk to each other or something. No, I'm
yeah, we'd have to
kidding.
socialize with each other,
In
without.
real life. No, but
Yeah.
actually we can't. We can't. Wait, what am I talking about? Like you're lucky that you don't live alone. I couldn't imagine being alone right now. And for all
No.
of those people, get a dog, please.
Yeah, get a
Like,
dog.
and also that now's the time more than ever to get a dog because you're home. Like you can potty train and it's a good, that's why I got my dog when I was going through treatment because I'm like, we're going to be home for months. Let's do this. This is the perfect opportunity to sit and train the dog and get them ready for, when you
Yeah.
do go back to work and go back to real life. So,
Yeah, because I was thinking about it too. Like, I was like, wait, I'm gonna be here for a while. So, I mean, not that I can travel. So I'm like, I'd love to have like 5 dogs now or something.
I know, right? Well, I guess a lot of people are like shelters are recommending fostering
Yeah.
animals right now because a lot of shelters are being forced to close down temporarily. So I think like if you can't adopt, then at least like this is a great time to foster and watch an animal while the shelters have nobody to help them.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
So now's the time to get a dog, guys.
Yeah, yeah, I know. If I didn't convince you in the previous podcast,
Yeah.
this is the one. Now I'm like, are you listening now? You want a dog?
You want a fluffy friend?
Uh,
Yeah, get it. Now's the time, guys. Oh my God,
so
I love
funny.
that. So, last thing is, yeah, so just one more advice, which is to, just try new hobbies, try new things at home, with like sporty at home, self-improvement, new hobbies, I don't know, to start a business or something from online or from creative things that you're working on or something. I don't know, just have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, or I did see like a meme the other day and it was also an important message and it said don't feel pressured by this time. Like don't feel like you need to go out and do all these things you've been putting off. Like I mean I will guarantee it will make you feel better if you do try and pursue some of your goals. But if you don't need to beat up yourself either. You could, be easy on yourself. And also like this could be going on for months, this there's a lot to come, I think, from all of this. So there will be plenty of opportunities to take care of the things you want. No need to feel rushed.
I think that's really great advice that I completely forgot. So thank you. That's really good.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
it's
forget about it myself. I'm very hard on myself if I don't do things. And that was what made this so hard in the beginning is I didn't really want to do anything, but slowly doing more exercising, coloring certain things, and I'm feeling so much better. So
yeah,
it's hard to get yourself push yourself that initial jump to do that thing, but once you start, you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy I did this. Even if
yeah,
it's like a 10-minute workout, you're like, wow, at least I did that. Or even a bubble bath. Like
yeah,
just take 20-minute bath. I know that even sometimes a bath takes effort, but you'll be glad you did.
yeah, definitely. And what I said in another podcast is what I do to do self improvement and stuff is I learn a lot actually from like reading books from Brian Tracy, who is all about self-improvement and everything. So you can even listen to like audiobook if you're just chilling in bed or something, so you don't feel like you have to put the energy in to actually read something. You can just have it
True.
on and just do painting or just relaxing and just have fun. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, very good idea.
yeah, I'm so hyped already.
Or listen to podcasts.
Yeah, listen to listen to all my episodes. I really So thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
Really nice. Always fun
I'm
talking
always
to you.
happy to join. I know. I'm like, whenever we have more to talk about, I am here. Love chatting.
Yeah, same. I feel like we can always chat about everything, so it's always nice.
I know. Well, maybe next time you watch that documentary and we can like talk all about that.
Yeah. So guys,
Yeah.
also watch, what's it called? Tiger King?
Tiger King.
Tiger
Yes.
King on Netflix.
On Netflix. It's
If you
fascinating. Like, if you care about animals, or even if you don't, it's got like every level of drama, like from animals to murder, human murder, animal murder, but it's not all dark. It's like true crime, but I mean, I would say it's a mostly happy ending. I won't give it away.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's,
true.
you know, there, I would say you won't walk away from it feeling heavy and sad, though. I mean, you may, but I think overall you'll feel like, okay, justice was served. So
That's really important.
it's not a downer. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So also thank you for listening. If you want to listen to more podcast episodes or want to get in contact or join an episode, go to instagram.com/thefabulouscancerpodcast. Feel free to message me on Instagram as well, and have a lovely day.